Hi, it's Tacticus again. Maybe you remember my video about the daily shop and what upgrades to buy there. If you haven't seen it yet, have a look here. It was the first video on my channel, and there I promised to do the same with crafted upgrades. The base upgrades were easy enough to calculate. Crafted upgrades, which are available in the second row of the daily shop, are another beast. Those offers can exclusively be bought for Blackstone, so this time we'll at least have one comparison less to look at, as comparing to gold, which is always favorable compared to buying with Blackstone, is moot. I'll explain what crafted upgrades are, how I calculated things, and then provide individual guides depending on your playstyle which exact upgrade you should buy. It's going to be a great time. If you like this kind of in-depth analysis, please consider subscribing to the channel. Only around 12% of my watchers are actually subscribed. If you haven't used a referral code yet, it would make my day if you used mine. Bet 60 ado for 100 Blackstone for both of us, which would really help me out in game. What are crafted upgrades? From an early level on, some slots in the upgrade roster of any given character will have crafted upgrades as a requirement. They consist of a number of base materials. You can recognize them by the little hammer in their bottom left corner. When you buy them in the daily shop, they cost exactly what their components would cost in Blackstone. No discounts here. So at least the calculations for that stay simple. I love the implicit lore behind most crafted upgrades. It's a small step that helps with immersion for me. A lot of upgrades have 3 tiers to them, being used for higher and higher tiers of characters. They also follow a kind of pattern most of the time. Look at this rare Cogwheel crest, for example. It can be used to craft an enhanced Cogwheel crest using 9 of the base upgrades, or later even an artificial Cogwheel crest, a more advanced upgrade for higher level characters, consisting of 18 of the rare base materials combined with 12 uncommon and 8 common upgrades. While the newer upgrades feature enhanced artwork for those higher tiers, sadly some of the older upgrades, like all kinds of roses or chains, have the same artwork, making them harder to distinguish. Here you have to rely on the borders to distinguish them. I hope to conclude on a simple solution, as with the last upgrade video. Buy X rarity of upgrade if you buy Y energy every day. But it's not as clear-cut, as the rarity of the crafted upgrade doesn't necessarily tell you how much their components cost, and not even what rarity of upgrades they consist of. Let's see how I compared things. I told you to buy common upgrades, and depending on your playstyle, even uncommon upgrades in the daily shop. Especially for coins, but that's not an option here. So it's easy to deduct that crafted upgrades only consisting of common materials will be definitely worth it, while those mixed with common and uncommon upgrades might also be cheap enough. Let me know in the comments how much Blackstone you spend on energy on a daily basis. Thinking about that will come in handy later. I'm very thankful that the Tacticus Wiki exists. You can find the link in the description. It has some nice guides, and I used it to find the base info I searched for. What crafted upgrades are there, and what do they consist of? For my incredibly specific task of finding out which ones were beneficial to buy and which ones weren't, I still had to look up each one individually, since they're not ordered by component rarity. At some point, I think I even learned those components rarities by heart, so I didn't have to click on them every time anymore. In my first draft, I included only those upgrades where it was apparent that they would be worth their Blackstone. But maybe there could be some with only a few rarer upgrades mixed in and a lot of common ones. I wanted to go the whole mile, and well, here we are. I crafted a table where I put in the names of the upgrade, including of how many components of which rarity they consist, and calculated their price for each tier of energy buying. You might remember the 2 ways of thinking I included in my last video on upgrades. You can think in increments, which answers whether an upgrade is cheaper than just buying the next tier of energy and farming it yourself. Or you can think cumulatively, comparing the cost of the upgrade to the average cost of energy you buy every day anyways. I ordered those by their cost of energy, and with this we should be able to see what upgrades you should buy. I just divided the price of buying the upgrade outright by the Blackstone cost of buying it with energy. If the number is below 1, you're getting a discount. If not, you should avoid it. This of course leaves out the gold you'd get by playing campaign battles, the experience you'd get, and missions or hero release event points you'd progress. There are advantages to actually playing the game after all, but most of the time, I at least just buy the upgrades additionally after spending all my energy, but you do you. In my graphics I included some thresholds of discounts compared to buying base materials, so you can judge whether the discount is enough for you. Feel free to screenshot the slide that fits your playstyle best and have a handy guide ready if you ever feel tempted. Let's pray to the Omnisire that my PC will be able to handle the load of loading in all those individual pictures. There's 261 crafted upgrades in the game at the moment I'm writing this, but spoiler, I won't have to depict all of them. Editing Tacticus here. The following slides show the discount of crafted upgrades for the step of energy buying, where they first become beneficial. Well, this means that all the crafted upgrades on the slides before become even more attractive. So if you want to use the slide for 110 Blackstone incremental energy buying, all upgrades on the 110 cumulative slide as well as the 50 Blackstone slides are worth buying for you. At first I wanted to include all upgrades for every step, but they would have been so small it wouldn't have been useful if you don't carry a flat screen in your pocket. When listing upgrades, they are listed in order of discount first, followed by alphabetical sorting. Something to think of is that I compare the end price of an upgrade with the Blackstone you'd spend on energy. Of course, that would take a lot more time, but it also means that it's the average cost of the included base materials. So the upgrades you need in the gold ranks of a character, consisting of 18 rare items, are a better way in average to spend your Blackstone than the upgrades consisting out of 9 rare base materials you need in the silver ranks, just because the additional common and uncommon materials push down the average cost effectiveness. Rare upgrades and above are very unattractive to buy. While looking better and on average getting a better purchase, those more expensive crafted upgrades still include the unattractive parts and you're paying normally for them. You're just getting some more common upgrades along them that are beneficial. Enough yapping. Let's look at the list. Starting as a 50 energy buy, it doesn't matter which way you prefer to think. Buying energy for 50 Blackstone always means it will cost 0.5 Blackstone per energy. And, good news for editing Tacticus, there's no crafted upgrades you should buy at that level. Even just common items are a 55% markup compared to just shelling out the energy. A common upgrade costs 5 Blackstone, but only 3.24 Blackstone in energy. If you could buy with gold, you'd actually have a 20% discount, so keep buying those common upgrades for 200 gold if you see them. At the 110 cumulative Blackstone buy, you're paying 0.8 Blackstone per energy. There, the common base upgrades actually have a 3.5% discount in comparison, and so do all the crafted upgrades only consisting of those. Those are the adamantium bar, adamantium plates and adamantium lump, advanced bionics, belt of fractionates, bionic enhancement, fine auxiliary core, first aid kit, holster and pockets, magazine, medical supply crate, otherworldly energy reservoir, power pack bundle, regenerating nanoswarm, sophisticated material bar and ingot, utilitarian belt, blessed weapon oils, box of ammo, razor sharp spikes, and targeting matrix. Wow, that was a mouthful. It's not going to get better. At 110 Blackstone incremental buy, you're paying 1.1 Blackstone per energy. So if you wondered if you should buy the 110 Blackstone energy buy, or rather buy the upgrade directly, this can be easily answered for the ones already named, which all cost around 70% compared to the energy. There's 3 upgrades with a 25% discount: the Murderous Spikes, Ratiocination Targeting, and Sanctified Weapon Oils, Necrodermis Nano Scarab Swarms, Electromantic Cable Bundles, Exquisite Medical Supplies, Advanced Combat Stims, High Capacity Power Packs, Powerful Auxiliary Cores, Prey Sights, Supernatural Sights, Adamantium Sheets, Blessed Caramite and Exospines will net you around 10 to 17% discount, and Refined Combat Stims, Blessed Purity Seals, Meshweave Garments, Mutation Warped Skin, Scale Plate Strands, Ceramite Bars, Fine Cloaks, Amarantite Nanoscarab Swarms, Boxes of Rations, Grandiloquent Litanicals, Otherworldly Nanoswarms, Sanctified Reliquaries of Protection, Plasma Cell Bundles, and Powerful Microgenerators are less than 10%. The last two even only having a 0.5% discount, but technically still being less expensive than buying energy. Phew, I just realized how many of those words I have never spoken out aloud. I hope you like me suffering. If you're regularly buying the 250 Blackstone energy refill anyways, you come into the region where uncommon materials for 10 Blackstone a pop actually become attractive. You're now paying an average of 1.37 Blackstone per energy. This means everything already listed is at a 44 to 20% discount. The following upgrades come in at around 18 to 16% discount: Advanced Meshweave Garment, Grand Purity Seals, Mutation Metallic Skin, Scale Plate Mantle, Digital Weapons, Overcapacitator, Imposing Horns and Ceramite Sheet. Some of those contain some epic items even, driving the price but still being worth it. There's also the Relic Auxiliary Core and Advanced Exospine, which are in the ballpark of the roughly 5% discount a single uncommon base upgrade will have. If you think about buying the 250 Blackstone energy refill to grind for an upgrade, you will pay 2.5 Blackstone per energy. Before doing that, you should consider buying all already named upgrades, as they will be cheaper. As the price of the energy skyrockets, almost all already named upgrades will be at around 50% discount. Adamantium plates, sophisticated material plates, and relic microgenerators will also be at more than 40% discount. Impressive armor trim, mass pattern bionics, anointed auxiliary core, hyperstim, decorated cloak, battle plan, grand skull trophy, psychic focus, greater reliquary of protection, ominous Xenos glyphs, legendary reliquary of protection, portentous Xenos glyphs, ceramite plates, anointed microgenerators, plasma cell crate, sophisticated material sheet, and plasma coil also all have more than 30% discount compared to the individual 250 Blackstone energy buy. Ancient Tacit plates, Archangel charts, Bolts of Furious Vengeance, Chains of Zealous Wrath, Decimator bolts, Dead Brutal Iron Drawers, Exalted Chainax Teeth, Heirloom Entrenching Tool, Hymn of the Divine, Hyper-Adaptive Toxin Sacks, Icons of Infernal Vengeance, Kraken Tooth Necklaces, Multispectrum Sensor Suit, Proclamation Hailer, Relic Motive Force Capacitators, Sigils of Eternal Decay, Soul Bonded Psychonorms, Warp Flame Infusions, Soul Bonded Wravebone Plates, Relic Tacit Plates, and Relic Bionic Enhancements still have a discount higher than 20%. The following slew of upgrades is also cheaper than just outright buying energy with 250 Blackstone, but at a lower discount. Angelic Plating, Artificer Plug Plates, Artificer Cogwheel Crests, Dead Shiny Art Plates, Exalted Cadere Renism, Great Cult Implements, Holy Corset Armor, Hyper-Adaptive Chitin Carapace, Iceworm Hide, Immaterial Shroud, Infernal Armor Trim, Inner Circle Hood, Sentry AI Drone Controller, Tabard of Righteous Wrath, Mutation Impenetrable Skin, Seals of the Emperor's Protection, Tome of Arcane Knowledge, Powered Plate, Grand Helmet Trophy, Autoloader, Industrial Carapace, Mysterious Device, Talisman of Storms, Legendary Reliquary of Vengeance, Worm Form Banner, Grand Strategy, Athenarian Scroll, Auto-Reactive Stim Injector, Bell of Despair, Bloodstone Icon, Candelabrum of Burning Wrath, Epaulets of Renown, Hyper-Adaptive Adrenal Glands, Infernal Eye of Horus, Key of Ashrabel, Protocol of the Eternal Guardian, Resplendent Spirit Stone, Roses of the Divine, Shiny Boss Teeth, Divine Cloak, Exalted Brazen Jaws, and Blessed Promethean Tanks. What a list! I feel like I just performed a poker rap. Let me know if you ever heard someone list down so many Tacticus upgrades before. Now for something refreshing. I can list what you shouldn't buy if you buy the 500 Blackstone energy refill, as the list is much shorter than listing what else is worth it. I didn't look at the 500 Blackstone refill in a cumulative way. I highly doubt that a lot of people do that, but maybe the comments will surprise me. At this refill, you're paying each energy with 5 Blackstone, 10 times as expensive as the 50 Blackstone buy. The only things more expensive as this are Bastion of Honor, Cloud of Flies, Scriptures of Fortune, Transdimensional Sanctum, and Mechadendrite Hive. Those ones you could even look at less than a 4% markup. Now come the Forbidden Fruits, at 14% markup. All of the legendary upgrades needed for Diamond 1 to 3 upgrades, the monstrous, preternatural, super augmented, and technocrafted families of upgrades. I've seen really expensive and legendary upgrades in the shop. I feel like the lower levels are more likely to appear. I never saw one of those 3240 Blackstone monstrosities in the wild. They'd save you a lot of time. But at what cost? Let me know if you've ever seen one. Also, with my love for the thematic upgrades earlier on, it's a bit of a shame there's only 4 different classes for those higher upgrades. But as Snowprint had to release all of them at once, it's also kind of understandable. If you think about buying the 1000 Blackstone energy refill, just don't. Even those over-the-top upgrades I just described have a 43% discount compared. That's just crazy. Conclusion. Now you know what crafted upgrades are worth it to buy in the daily shop. You've seen the appropriate infographics for your specific playstyle. Of the 263 crafted upgrades in-game, you should buy exactly none if you only do the 50 Blackstone refill daily, or even only think about it. If you do the 110 Blackstone regularly, you can get 21 at a discount. But the discount is very slight. If you compare to just buying the 110 refill additionally, you can buy 49 crafted upgrades with a clear conscience. A player regularly buying the 250 refill can buy 60 without breaking the bank, and if you're considering buying the 500 or 1000 Blackstone refill, you're obviously swimming in Blackstone and it doesn't really matter that much. Crafted upgrades provide the additional benefit of making farming a lot faster. Especially the most expensive upgrades will save you a ton of time. For example, a lot of crafted upgrades consist of 9 rare materials, not just because of energy regeneration, but also because of the daily limit on farming nodes. For example, a lot of crafted upgrades consist of 9 rare materials. At 225 Blackstone, those are really expensive, but some stuff, like Tyrannid and Genestealer upgrades, where there's only 1 node to farm them, that takes around 3 days, and buying crafted upgrades really helps with that. I hope you found this little overview on crafted upgrades helpful. Especially the audio gave me a lot of trouble, but at least now I can use my own infographics so I don't buy overpriced stuff anymore.